We back at it again.
For the culture.
I'm a big fan of culture.
We're really high.
For the culture. My God.
Shout out to Culture.
For the Culture podcast.
Type.
Appreciate you for having me, man.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Welcome back for the Culture podcast. And we are here with the beautiful couple, the hosts. How are y'all two doing today?
Doing good, man.
Man, it's good to have y'all on the show. Man, how you been?
Been great, man.
Right.
Been
You looking great.
It's good. Thank you.
Man, I see it all over you. So, man, just want to ask, man, tell us a little bit about yourself for those that's watching.
You want me to go?
I
don't usually
Say the
go
queen first.
Yeah, I mean, I can always start, man. It's like we've been together, we're going on our 17th year of marriage.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
We've been together, for 18, maybe 19 years, just, courting.
Right.
We met in Sacramento.
Wow.
From California.
Okay.
But yeah, we met in Sacramento, man, and it's like we locked in.
Sacktown.
Sacktown,
Wow.
916, man. And from there on, man, we just kind of kept it locked in.
Yes.
We knew what our vision was.
Right.
Of course, it took some time to get there.
Yes.
But it's all about the marathon. It's not a sprint.
That's
man.
right. That's
So
right.
You got to have the right partner
That's
to run
right.
with. That's what
And it was a shared vision.
Yeah.
Man,
Definitely,
that
definitely.
is amazing. Sack, man. So you just a few hours away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We moved here about a year and a half ago. I've
Okay.
been doing some work here for a few years. And so
Okay.
now being in this area, it's different because I'm from the Southern California area originally. He's
Oh.
from Sac. And I remember we went through Fresno, not to Fresno.
Right, man.
Like,
We
that
heard
was
that
the
a lot.
honey, you didn't stop.
Right.
And, I'm from the old bike
You
days
might have
in
just
Fresno.
stopped to use the bathroom and kept going, right?
If that.
If that.
And so we
Oh,
stopped
man.
in Bakersfield, and
Right.
then we didn't stop till we hit Sac.
I
Right?
heard that.
My dad was like, "No, y'all
Oh,
better
man.
keep
Keep going.
We keep it going.
Right.
We pushing through."
There was no
so-
reason to stop for gas.
No,
Right.
and so now being in Fresno, it's different.
Yes.
But
yes.
we love it.
Definitely
we really
have
do.
grown probably since you were
Oh,
traveling
my gosh,
through. Right.
yes.
Right.
Seeing
Right.
what's happening with the airport, with
Yes.
the infrastructure, what they're doing with various communities
Yes.
here. I had the pleasure of moving to Sacramento back in the early 2000s from
Okay.
the Oakland Bay area.
Okay.
So I remember when that was coming up, when
Right.
that airport was a
Yes.
one-room airport. So when I was out here working and I started to see the same thing, I was like,
Right.
hey, I've seen this before.
Yes.
I
yes.
know Sacramento's
Opportunity.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
huge opportunity.
Yes.
And so Fresno right now is the most affordable place in California, really.
no,
and
true,
so to
true.
raise a family. So we love
Right.
it.
Oh man, well we definitely welcome y'all here and thank you for, giving Fresno an opportunity. 'Cause, I mean, it definitely is growing. I think we've probably done grown at least 300,000 in population from the time, y'all was coming in and out, probably going through to and from the,
Yeah, to and from
college and
Detroit.
vacation
Yes.
and all of that. And so
There's Fresno.
yeah, right. And now, we the fifth largest city.
Exactly.
right.
Third largest
Really
school
have grown.
district, fifth largest
Yeah,
city.
in the state.
And really just the diversity that lives here, and it
Yes,
is
yes,
Fresno.
that's the
Like
jewel.
we have, we have some checkered history. We're not gonna,
Right.
skirt that, but
Right.
the beauty is what is the community that's been created
Yes,
here, and
yes.
the way that people come together, the way that people are all kind of
Right.
looking around, going, "Hey,
Yes.
we're seeing things are moving and shaking. Let's do this together."
Absolutely, and that's what it takes. And key word, community.
Yes,
Right.
for sure.
Without community, we have no story.
True,
No, that
true.
is so true. I wanted to ask, what values are most important to you as a couple running a family and a business?
It's got to be loyalty. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to be loyalty. You got to be vested.
Yes, sir.
You got to be
Yes, sir.
vested. And you got to have a partner that you can ultimately trust.
Right.
You know what I
Key.
mean?
Man.
Coming from different backgrounds, different parts of California.
Yes.
A lot of folks are out there untrustworthy with
That's
them.
true.
You see, relationships going up and down, in and out,
Right.
but
Right.
we got a little old school on us.
I like
and
that.
We wanted to stay committed about raising these kids
Yes.
right, man.
Yes, sir.
Because that's what it is.
It's so
ultimately
important.
about what we can give back to our kids.
Right. Right. And how you want that legacy to carry
right.
over,
That's
into the future.
That's
No,
it.
that is so true.
And I would say also for us as a couple, communication is
Oh
huge.
man, so key.
Huge
So
for
key.
us. Like, it's not just talking, like, we're business partners
Right.
and we're husband and wife and we're parents.
Yes.
And so
Those three different entities
that's
right there.
three different
Right.
relationships that
Right.
we have with each other.
Yes.
Much less, having 8 kids between us. There
Right.
are a lot of different relationships there that we're
Yes.
managing. And so,
Personalities.
oh my gosh, they're
Right.
all different. They're so
Oh
different.
man, I
On
believe
top
it.
of like growing together as a couple. I mean, 2
Right.
decades is, I'm not the same person I was.
Oh, right.
And so
Growth.
all of that growth, when you think about growing together as a couple, growing together as parents, growing as business partners. I mean,
Yes.
it's a lot together. But the beautiful thing is, like, I work and live with my best friend,
Right.
and so
That's amazing.
no matter what it is,
That's a blessing.
that's right.
Hard to find.
Right.
Right.
It's like I enjoy being
Right.
with this
Right.
human being. It's like,
Right.
okay.
Right. I mean, how often do you hear that?
Man, during COVID,
Right. I know.
that was like, people realize they marry people they can't stand.
We
Excited to go to work. You're like,
looked at each other like, we cool.
Right. Yeah, I know.
You good? I'm all right. Let's keep going.
Right.
But you saw
lot
that.
of separations, divorces. Like people
Oh,
actually
man.
was forced to see one another for who they truly were. During
Ooh.
COVID was an eye opener on many levels.
People realized they
Right.
birthed people they couldn't stand.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, can you
Right,
imagine?
right,
Like, some
right.
of our families
Some
realize,
hard
like, I got a
conversations
kid
have to
I
be
don't
had.
like.
Right. Yeah, no,
I love
true.
you, but I don't like you.
Right.
And so there's times when, as parents, we have to have those
That's
conversations
so
because
true.
we don't often talk about the times when we don't like our kids. We don't like each other. We
Right.
don't talk about that. It's like, I love you, but I'm gonna need you to go on over there for a minute
Yeah, I know.
because
Lots of space.
Grandma,
I
do you
need
got an
lots of
extra
space
room?
right now.
Right.
I need you to grow into the person I used to love because I don't know.
Stop eating everything.
I know.
Where your school stomachs at?
Stop pulling on my refrigerator, right?
Lord.
Oh, my God.
Leaving it
Oh
open.
man, that's so true.
Refrigerator
That
beeping.
refrigerator will constantly being open during COVID, no
Man.
doubt.
We can't go out and
Oh,
shop.
Right.
Yeah, we
Oh,
had
boy, they
that
got
time,
more
man.
excuses than a little bit.
Oh man,
Right.
more
Right.
excuses
But
than
they
a
know how to
man.
make it to the mall and the movies,
Oh,
though.
real quick.
But not the grocery store.
Not the grocery store. They can't. Man, my kids gotta love them.
So after COVID, how did you two adjust? Or there was no adjustment needed?
Oh no, there was just so before. Well, I often say before COVID, we were in the plantation world,
Okay.
and so we weren't full-time entrepreneurs like we
Okay.
are now.
Right.
And so there was a period of time that I remember
Uh-huh.
when I remember sitting at work one day going, and I had to look at my calendar. Like, when's the last time I saw my husband?
Wow.
Like, actually
Wow.
got to sit down. When is the
Right.
last time we shared a meal? Because we were just passing each other.
Yes.
He was working nights. I was working days.
Oh man, that was
He
tough.
was with the kids during the day.
Right.
I would, and so literally we would see each other for maybe 30 minutes in the morning. And then in the afternoons, we might get a little bit more time because I
Yes.
might be able to get home around 5 or 6.
Right.
He didn't report to work till like 8 or 9. So that was like, that
Oh,
was golden
man.
time.
Yeah.
But that was several years of our lives
Wow.
that we spent. And that was, so when COVID came and we actually got to spend time together. I remember the day when we sat down and were like, it'd be cool to work together.
Yeah, I know.
We could do this. Like, we
That's
actually like each other.
Right. Right.
And it was part of it was seeing how other people didn't like each other. We're like, we don't have that problem.
Yeah, no. COVID definitely pulled the curtain.
Yeah,
Right. On
it
many
did.
things. Right.
You really had to tap into, who you're living with.
Yes.
Their their emotions, where they're coming from. And man, everything just gelled, man.
Right.
Like it's supposed to be.
Right.
I mean, when COVID hit, that gave us more time to be together.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
okay, now we can start really organizing and getting this business off the ground
Right.
together.
Yeah.
Same mindset.
man,
Yeah,
a
so
shared, you
right.
guys share something and a shared goal.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And timelines. I mean, that's
Yes.
something we don't talk, like we said, in this many years, we want to retire me from, the
Yeah.
W-2 world.
Okay.
In this many years, we're going to retire you from the W-2 world. And we just hit a year of that. Now we're like, all right, now we need to move into, the next level or layer
Yes.
of business. And the whole focus was on our kids.
Right.
Because, we're just seeing that right now is a time period where when you look at the addition of social media, when you look at the addition of whatever societal
Right.
pressures are going on, it's a time right now where we need to pour into our kids. I
Yes.
couldn't imagine right now being 14 years old,
Oh man, different
watching
time,
what's
different era.
happening
Yes.
around me
Yes.
and having so much access.
Right.
Back in our day, our biggest access to information was that half set of encyclopedias that they had at the school. I'm just saying.
Yes. Or that
Everybody missing the
library.
S.
Right.
And everybody
Right.
missing the R.
Right.
Because somebody took it from the library. Right? And so, that was our access to information,
Yes.
or sitting at our grandparents' feet, or, talking with folks,
Right.
or the news.
Right.
That was
Right.
now our kids have a completely different world.
True.
And so there were several events and issues that happened during COVID in particular, when all of our kids were home. We had
Right.
all 5 of our kids. We didn't have the 6th edition
Okay.
that was at the house. We have 2 that are a little older. And we realized that our kids have way too much access.
Right.
We don't have enough connection. And the structures in our household they were conducive to 2 parents being gone. When everybody came home and was everybody's business, we were like, there's some things that we're not okay with.
Man, social media became the new parents.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
so, and
That
even though our kids
tablet.
didn't have that, they had friends at school. They had, like, our kids didn't
Influence.
have phones and stuff.
Right.
And so when you start thinking about the idea of what our culture is becoming, because
Yes.
these are all cultural triggers or
Yes.
cultural catalysts, if you will.
Yes.
They're going to create difference
Right.
in the future.
Right.
And so if we communicate differently, that means, think about when we were in school and we had pagers. And we went from the
man,
telephone to
now
the
you
pager.
telling our
Y'all
age.
remember?
Right. Yeah.
Y'all
Oh,
remember
yeah. I
that?
had
When
the
we went from the
pager.
house phone
Yes.
to get the pager.
Right.
I remember having to run to find a payphone.
We text
to
each
call.
other using numbers, right?
And trying to send messages using like
Right.
143. I
Yeah.
love you.
I'm
right?
not-
Like that was the texting
Yes.
of the day.
Yes.
Now they can send pictures, videos,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
bully each other, celebrate each
true.
other, all those things.
Right.
So our parenting had to change it. It's like, whoa, when do we get time to
Yes.
focus on that? And even more important,
Yes.
when do we get time to focus on each other?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, when all these kids are gone, he and I left.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's
Right?
right.
And
Reality
so-
sets in.
Right?
Right.
And so that was a big piece of what shifted our
Yes.
values around, and why we said, you know what? We can't live to work.
Right.
We have got to figure out how to work to live. So what
Yes.
does our life look like?
Yes. And touching on that, if you will share with us all, man, what are your 2 backgrounds? Because I hear a lot of psychology, and I'm loving it, and I appreciate seeing 2 beautiful couple here for all of us to see. I mean, 19 years, that is something to celebrate.
Yeah.
And I love to hear when a husband say, I've been courting for 19 years. So, the way he got you is the way he continued to keep you. And
Amen.
that's some jewels,
Yeah.
for many people to catch up on and understanding that, because a lot of times, us men, we get too comfortable.
Yeah,
Right, and we
can't
think,
do
oh
that.
well, we got her, but we forget how we got her, right?
Right.
And vice versa, because it got to be
Yeah.
reciprocation,
Yeah, most definitely, man. A little bit about my background. My dad was in the military.
Okay.
My mom was in the military. So, thing that makes me so flexible and just able to just get in a situation where it doesn't matter where I live.
Yes.
It's the travel, man.
Wow.
Is where my parents took us. Man.
Yes.
We've been as far as Taiwan.
Wow.
I remember times of me getting lost out there.
Right, right.
They're sending out the Air Force to come find me.
Yeah.
Because I was just out there being a kid.
You
man.
was curious. You was
But I
curious.
was around a different culture, man.
Yes.
You know, it was like
Yes.
Taiwanese, man. They took
Yes.
me in. Mama san and Papa san, you know,
Right,
it's like
right.
all those different things, man, were essential to my life and where I am
Yes,
and
sir.
what my personality is like today.
That's deep.
So it doesn't matter where I'm at.
Right.
I'm gonna fit in. I'm gonna adjust and
Yes.
adapt.
It's true.
Right.
And that's what we're teaching our kids, man.
That's
Because they've been all
amazing.
over this nation.
Wow.
Right.
Right.
You know, it's like we were in Sacramento, man, but it came to a point to where it's like, you know, we need to venture out as a family.
Yes.
Get away from our norm,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And go
Yes.
and venture and find out what that does for us.
Right.
And it's only made us sharper, man.
That is so true.
Oh
That
my
is
God,
so true.
razor sharp.
No, that is so true. I could relate to that. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I had
know,
never lived out of California before,
Wow.
we left. And so it was, I mean, I
It
was
helped a
born
lot.
here, went to school here, I mean, I made, my biggest move from Southern California to Northern California.
Yes.
Yeah, we skipped over Fresno.
Right.
It's, that's what in Northern California, like
Right.
between the
Right.
Bay and Sacramento.
Yeah,
and
metropolitan cities where it's happening. Right.
Exactly.
Opportunities are right.
And my background is I am first generation removed from poverty. And I
Okay.
say that as part of my culture because my upbringing was a little bit different. We have a lot of stories of folks that, coming up, started from the bottom, now we're here kind of
Right.
stories.
Right.
That was my parents' story.
Right.
So they made sure my experience was very different.
Okay.
And coming up with that's been part of a beautiful part of our relationship
Right.
is I'm always striving to be better. I'm
Yes.
always trying to be sharper and always trying to understand how I can use what I've learned to help somebody
Right.
else.
Right.
Because my dad was very adamant about just because you made it don't mean you don't have a responsibility to bring people up
Yes.
behind you.
Yes.
I didn't
Yes.
bring you this far for you to just get up there and get all high and mighty.
That's right.
And he would tell me in a heartbeat,
That's right.
I'm
That's
from,
right.
I'm from Compton. Don't
Right.
play with me. And I'm like, yes, Dad. Yeah. I didn't really know what that meant
Right.
coming up. I'm like, okay,
And
Compton.
I so appreciate, the both of you living in your truth because, one thing you touched on and something that many people tend to fall short on is, you spoke about that, your parents actually were the two that, grew up in poverty and made a way for themselves. And it created a different environment for you. And, a lot of people go out and they actually speak as if their parents' life was their life. Their story is their story. And, and many people did not, grow up as such. And so, I just want to touch on that and say that I really do appreciate that because, many people really should start living their truth. And that just goes back to the communication piece, 'cause,
Absolutely.
man, I could definitely feel the not only the harmony, but there's a lot of peace, and you guys I could tell you that's important to you.
It is.
You know,
it is. And
to
being
your
authentic
household.
and true to yourself.
Right.
And I've seen the same thing where
Yeah.
people are like, oh, and I'm like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, right.
Boy, bye.
Right.
And I think part of it for me was when I was teaching and when I
Mhm.
became a teacher, I taught in environments that were different from where I lived.
Okay.
And so I learned about the mindset and the culture,
Right.
if you will, and I use
Right.
that term very loosely, of poverty,
Yes.
because I believe that that's a whole different conversation. But I learned about it from the experience of a teacher. And it was a moment, I share this in my keynotes, that it was a moment when I was on the phone. I was an 8th grade teacher out in East Oakland.
Whoa.
And
East
I just
Oakland.
graduated from Berkeley. I didn't know.
Tough.
I got a job.
Tough.
As far as I was
Well,
concerned, I had a job. I didn't
you
know
talking
where I
about
was.
fearless.
Right? So I'm in
We're
in
the
East
trenches,
Oakland.
Right.
And I had just graduated from Berkeley,
Okay.
and
Oh, man.
I'm in my kitchen, and I'm talking to my girlfriend
Right.
about, can you believe these parents sent their kids that they had wore the same clothes, and I'm just totally inappropriate.
Right.
My dad comes out the back room.
Oh man! After hearing you.
After hearing me, he hears me chi-chi-chiing with my girlfriend, my roommate, or ex-roommate,
That
from
kikiing
college.
got cut
I was
short.
Kiki. He was like, "Hey, come here." And when my dad did that, I don't know if I turned.
Let
I
me
was a
hang up
grown
the
woman.
phone.
I turned into a 12-year-old real quick.
Right.
gotta go, bye. Right? And I remember I was like, grown. I got my own, I got
Right.
a W-2.
You
I got a
melted
job.
when he said,
I
come
got a
here.
degree.
Right.
And my dad did this to me. And I immediately turned into a kid, and he called me in the back room, and he sat me down, and he said, baby girl, I gotta apologize to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if y'all know, I had a black daddy, and hopefully y'all know what that means. We don't hear apologize very well. We don't hear I'm sorry very often.
You're talking about prideful.
Right?
A prideful man.
And, he comes out, he'll tell you in a minute, I'm from the streets of Compton, don't get it twisted.
Right.
That kind of stuff, in his old jive
that's
turkey.
a-
Oh, yeah. with
definitely
jive,
an error, right.
And he looked at me and he said, Shug, my dad called me Shug. He's like, Shug, I got to apologize to you.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I need you to sit down and listen to me right now.
Okay.
The kids you're talking about, the kids that showed up without whatever it is,
Right.
the kids that you're now expected to teach,
Yes.
yet I hear you talking about over here, that was me.
Wow.
That was me. And so just because I done raised you this way
Correct.
doesn't mean I need you to forget about the things that I learned coming up. And that was when my dad, believe it or not, my first year teaching, it was my first year, he actually came to the classroom with me for about
Really?
6 weeks to make sure that I understood what it was to work with kids that were in a different environment. Because
Yes.
I had a different mindset.
Right.
I was raised with nannies. I was raised, when my grandmother looked at my hands, because my grandmother was the help.
Okay.
My grandmother's mother was the help.
Right.
My grandmother's
Yes, ma'am. Right.
And so she looked at my hands when I was born and said, these hands will not scrub toilets. And so they did all the work.
Yes.
I was the fruit of that labor,
Right.
but I didn't have the connection. I didn't understand.
Right.
Because I just had never I had never been around
was not
that
your
environment.
environment, right.
But I also had to understand that looking down and having my nose in the air, I wasn't going to be able to help them
Yes.
because they were going to see right through that. My heart was there,
Right.
but I didn't understand. And my dad spent time with me. He spent about 10 weeks coming to my classroom
Wow.
every week to make sure I understood what they needed. And that's, been the core of how I've come up in my career. So when you talk about upbringing,
Yes.
what that taught me was that my upbringing didn't stop when I turned 18. My dad was still raising me when I was 23.
Wow.
He was still raising me when I was 25.
Right.
When I became a principal, he was still raising me
Right.
to make sure I could be most effective.
Yes, ma'am.
And we don't think about that with parenting.
That's true.
Our
That's
kids
true.
are not, just because they turn 18, it's not a magic number
Oh,
that they
yeah.
all get the common sense.
Right. That's right.
Right?
No, you-
Sit them out.
Right?
correct.
Not ready.
It takes time.
Right.
I mean, it's like, that's one of the things that we really pour into our kids. Is
Yes,
getting
sir.
prepared.
Right.
You know,
100%.
not just as a young adult, but as being an African American
Right.
in this country.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yes.
You gotta
Stay
be
Rules
ready.
are different.
Stay ready.
Right.
And, just like our parents raised us. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? My parents, they joined the military to get us out.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
that was another form of
Right.
us trying to find ourselves
Yes, sir.
outside of where you came from.
Right.
When things were hard. I like to call it the tenderloin.
No, so true. That's the best way to describe it.
So,
Best
you
way
know,
to
it's
describe it.
like, honor to our parents for
Yes.
running.
Amen.
Right. The
Amen.
sacrifice. Right.
And that instilled in us that drive to do the same
Yes.
for our children.
100%. Man, no, that's heavy.
It is.
And now we're here today where, the two of you are currently in health and wellness.
Yes,
And
that's
so,
our thing.
man, let's talk about that a little bit. I know you guys got something going on here in Fresno. You brought a jewel that's changing lives each and every day. And so, man, what led you to, that entrepreneurship?
Man, one of the things that jumped on me is that about the COVID thing.
Right.
Right?
Here we go.
So, we got a really good friend who, owns a studio up in Sacramento.
Okay.
And every chance that we got to come back out to California, we would go and practice
Okay.
yoga.
Oh,
what I mean?
okay.
We would go and practice yoga. That was one of the things that, that kind of, drives this story is that it was something I never wanted to do.
Right,
It
right,
was
right,
something
right.
that I come from playing the big three.
Yeah.
I'm an athlete.
Football, baseball,
Right.
football.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like,
Right.
don't do all that stress
Right.
and stuff.
Right.
That's what,
That's questioning my masculinity, right?
Right. So, when COVID hit, man, we were looking for something else to do.
Okay.
And they
Literally.
happened to have a teacher's program.
Wow.
300 hours, man.
300 hours.
Yeah, we went from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Thursday and Friday was 4 hours, but Saturday and Sunday was 8 hours, man.
Whoa.
For like 10 weeks, 8 weeks, I forget how long.
Wow.
Shut the
Every
door,
week.
And the kids
Straight. 10 weeks straight.
Virtual.
Y'all in it.
Yes. And so you have to go every single week. So my best friend did it virtually for us because we were in Michigan at the time.
Okay.
They were out here. And so we were online while they were learning. And so we would, be doing the moves and
Wow.
doing the learning. And, it brought us even closer together.
That's amazing.
But, when he became, and actually I made him join. I did. Because I was like, she's like, come and do it. And I was like, okay. And then I looked at him, I was like, if I'm doing it, you're doing it.
So I need my partner.
Right? I
Right.
gotta have somebody.
Right.
And it turns out, though, the end of this story is that he's actually the teacher, the yoga
Wow.
teacher.
He fell in love with it.
I found that passion for it, man.
That's amazing.
I did, and it's like the beautiful thing about it is that those instructors are giving you a
Yes.
different tool for you to use to
Yes.
enhance your life,
Right.
mentally and physically.
Right.
And it was my opportunity to give back too.
Yes, sir.
So I started teaching some of the high school kids I was working with.
Wow.
And
Shout out to Ace and Ypsilanti.
doing that, I got connected with somebody else
Okay.
who was connected to the junior college out there.
Whoa.
So I ended up, becoming a professor.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
But
One
God.
thing led to
But-
another.
Instructor. It's a JUCO, it's a junior
Yeah.
college, but still, man.
Right.
I taught virtually.
Yes.
So it was like just coming out of that, the COVID
Right.
education.
Things
we're teaching
accelerated.
everything online, so everybody was already hip to that.
Okay.
So, but it got me closer to folks.
Yes.
It gave me the opportunity to teach this beautiful, practice
Right.
to folks.
Right.
And now we bring it here, man. And every Sunday,
Wow.
we, open up a free class, and we call it Sunday Yoga with the whole family.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's-
Whole family can
The
come.
whole family, man, and we just spread it out. And we just tell people, hey, it's free.
Right.
All you need is a computer, man.
That's it.
mat
A
or
phone.
towel, a phone, or whatever you need.
Right.
Let us share this practice with you.
That's amazing. Now, how do those that are watching today be able to connect with you to be able to log in and take that opportunity?
I'll definitely put it on our webpage.
Okay.
But usually it's like the folks that we're connected with, they
Yes.
have their own pages.
Yes.
On Instagram or Facebook that we connect that link to.
Okay.
So I'd be
Okay.
happy to share it with
Oh,
you as
absolutely.
well.
No, absolutely.
You
We
can
definitely
also
gonna
reach
push
us on
it.
the website.
Okay.
So our website is www.familylegacy5.com, and there is a section for events. And in those events, you'll see Sunday Yoga with Art and the Holt family. And we're very excited to bring this. And
That's
I have to
amazing.
say, because most people don't realize, yoga is about $20 per class per person.
Yes.
I need folks to understand that there's a reason that yoga studios are in certain neighborhoods and not others.
Yes. Yes.
Because the practice has been tried to be kept exclusive for this, at least in
Certain
the United
class.
States. Exactly.
Yes.
And so, but part of it is the health benefits, the stretching, becoming limber, with African Americans and Latinos in particular having such high rates of heart disease,
Yes.
of diabetes,
Oh, yes.
obesity, and with some of the foods that we all love to eat, but not always want or are able to do a hardcore cardio workout. We have to say, at least stretch your body, at least be able to get up and get off, up and down from the floor.
Right.
You've got to be able to do that. And what I love about his class, because I used to be I used to be over 300 pounds
Oh, wow.
at one point in my life. And with yoga, being able to move when you're
Yes.
that large is very
Yes.
difficult. It's very embarrassing. There's a whole other fat shaming thing that we
Yes.
could go into. But one of the ways that he practices yoga and what we do is we'll show the modifications. We
Wow.
show how you can do this if
Right.
you're a bit larger, or if and you will find after a while that your body will start to be able to move.
Wow.
And so that's why you'll see people that may be a little bit more heavy set,
Right.
but they're getting their flexibility back.
Yes.
With your flexibility will come more of a desire
Yes.
to get more of the cardio, which will get your heart moving and all that
That's
you need to have
amazing.
happen. And so this is a gift to the community. That's why we do it every Sunday. I get it, it's during church time, so folks who go to church,
Yes.
enjoy that. But those of you who are not, the sipping saints,
Right.
so, go
Right.
to all
That's
that.
what, hey,
Come
you
on,
know,
it's free.
It's a
Come
form
with
of
the kids.
spirituality.
It
Yeah.
is. It is a very
Yeah.
spiritual practice.
Yes.
He has his degree in religious studies, so
Yes.
I let him argue with the people about,
That's right.
all.
Oh, yeah.
I let
That's
him.
right.
He goes in. He's like, bring it.
Right.
I'm like, y'all go ahead and figure out the Bible together.
Yeah. Right.
And not as a debate or to
Yeah.
be combative or
Right.
anything, but just letting you know that there is a difference.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, there's some
Yeah.
deeper practices and deeper
We're not going
spiritual, approaches to the practice. But we're not here for that.
That's
We're
right.
here to just share.
Yes.
It's called Seva. That means to give back.
Okay.
And to make sure that everybody has the opportunity
Right.
to find out what this gift is.
Yes. That is definitely
It's awesome.
a gift.
And
yes.
the beauty of Fresno is that it's offered us the opportunity to combine two things that we love. We love providing spaces and, event centers, because that's part of our business
Okay.
side. And then being able to now have a yoga studio at the Legacy Garden Center that we have
Wow.
here in Fresno
That's-
is awesome.
yes.
And so it's being built. So eventually
Right.
there will be in-person classes.
Okay.
That's what we're setting up for. But
Oh man.
Fresno is just right now a land of opportunity,
Right,
and
right.
if folks don't see that, give us a call. Come by
You'll
the
help 'em
chamber.
see
We'll
it.
help you see it.
Right.
We'll show
Yeah,
you.
we take those
There's
rose-colored
all-
glasses off.
Yes. Fresno's a lot of opportunity
Right.
for any business owners or folks, but you got to be healthy and able to
Agreed.
do the work.
And and you definitely led into my last question. So, what do you two have planned for the future?
Oh,
It's
so
a lot.
It's so much. We build and we think about our future and what we're doing for our children.
Yes. Yes.
That's what this is all about.
Right.
Is
Right.
building that legacy.
Yes.
So everything that we do is intentional
Right.
about what their life is going to look like when they step out that door.
Right.
It's just it just brings a lot of excitement and just joy to us being able to provide these things for them.
Yes.
It doesn't matter where we were. I mean, we were at our lowest coming through these 19 years
Right.
at certain points, but we didn't take our focus off our goal,
Right.
right?
Right.
Very true.
We didn't let them see where we truly were.
Right.
Some parents out there, they'd be like, let it all out. No, man, I gotta protect you.
Yes.
I gotta put you in a position to where you're still a child.
That's
you
so
don't have
important.
to step up to be an adult.
Right.
So,
Right.
it's intentional about what we do
Yes.
as parents to make sure that these kids are
Man.
in line, man,
Right.
and
100%.
have information.
100%.
So, and that is so very true. And in order for us to do that, we have to have healthy families.
Right.
And so part of our work as we move forward is really about giving back and supporting families in the area.
Yes.
I'm a huge believer, as is Art, that the healing that we're looking for, the solutions that we're looking for to the problems that we see, they don't exist out there somewhere. We know racism and a lot of things are issues right now.
Yes.
Anti-Semitism
Yes.
is up, racism is up, homophobia is up, like necrophilia, all these negative things are up, right? But I often will remind folks that didn't start out there. That started in your house by how you talk about people. That started with the time that you do or do not spend with your children. It starts with how you interact and talk about people who are different from yourselves. It starts with your relationship and what do they see a healthy relationship being?
Right.
part of the reason that he and I are so healthy is regardless of our upbringing, our parents actually stayed married until, so we come
That's
from
amazing.
two
Right.
households where
Yes.
our parents were married to each other
Right.
the entire time
Right.
that we've been here.
No,
So healthy marriages are not something that, come out of, I don't know where you think that they come from people who see healthy marriages,
Yes.
from people who see healthy families. And sometimes we need to do life together. And so part of what we have coming up is a lot of events and opportunities for people, especially couples, to
Yes.
come together, families to come together, either at the
Wow.
event space.
That's huge.
We're partnering with local DJs
Yes.
and organizations. We shout out to DJ Dave
Man,
and
DJ
Online-
Dave.
man, DJ Dave and Sonia with
Right.
online dancing. Like they
Yes.
provided spaces for people to come together, and we
That
just
is
want to
so true.
contribute and help in any way we can to help families do better. So stay
Right.
tuned for our events coming up.
We definitely will be in line and looking forward to it, and definitely staying in touch through all social media networks and seeing where it all goes as we continue to follow you on your journey, as you invited
with
us to
you.
be part of your journey of healing. And so, man, we thank you both for coming on today and sharing your story with each and every one of us. And before we leave, is there anything to the public that is currently watching that you would like to say? Any words of wisdom?
I do have a yoga saying that I say at the end of all of our classes, and I think it just hits home because the light that I see in myself
Yes.
is the light that I see in you.
Wow.
Right?
That's heavy.
Because we got to be the ones to bring the light.
Right. That's true.
There's so much darkness out there.
Yes, sir.
And if you're that beacon,
Right.
that's where you're gonna head. Right.
Right. That's right. We're going to follow that light.
To spread that light amongst others.
That is so true. That is so true. Man, starting inward.
That's it.
Right.
You gotta
Right.
Set up from the center.
Right.
But the center comes from above.
Yes, sir.
If you have that light already,
Right.
you're gonna be able to show that. So you gotta love yourself.
Man, hey, key word, people, man, loving yourself. Man, no, we so much appreciate you both, and we thank you again for coming on and looking forward to many more. As of course, man, I know you guys have so much to share that many of the viewers would just love to, hear, because, there's definitely healing in words. Right.
Definitely, and we just invite folks to come visit us on our podcast
Yes.
as well, which is Loving and Raising Kids.
Oh,
It's
man.
going to be coming out very soon, where we're just going to be doing very similar to what you're
Right,
doing,
right.
and just talking with couples and families and folks about it ain't easy raising these kids and
True.
loving each other these
True.
days.
True.
But it's the only way we're going to be able to push through and get through these times. We're dealing with some times that
Right.
people are going to be looking at in the books, 10, 15, 100 years
Agreed.
from now. They're going to be looking back like, what were they doing back when when that was happening? And loving and raising these kids is what it's all about.
Yes.
So join us on our podcast, and
Looking
we hope to
forward
see you
it.
there.
Oh, man, well, we thank you, and you
Thank
too have a
you.
beautiful night.
You too.
Man, and so, man, that will
Amen.
end it for the Culture with the Hope.